Hey guys, welcome to Legends of Podcasting. This is a review of Avengers Infinity War. So what we're going to do here is we're going to do a sort of short, non-spoiler chat, which is going to be very short because we're all rubbish at doing spoilers. And then we'll put a big sign up in the video to let you know when the spoiler is going to kick in, and basically just talk about Infinity War. We got to see it at midnight. This morning technically. We got to see it.
I haven't been asleep yet.
No, yeah. I struggled to go to sleep. I was laying there going.
This is triple espresso.
Yeah. I know. It's good. It's bad. It's good day. I'm glad I took a day off work. So, but yeah. So we're going to talk, and then we're going to talk about spoilers and sort of try and do some structured chat, so it's not all just gibberish. But so let's start with non-spoilers first of all. So guys, what did you think of the film? Other than it was awesome.
Epic.
Yeah.
Perfect.
I mean,
It was, right?
it's really, really well paid off the last 10 years of world building.
Great.
This was going to be make or break time, and they pulled it out of the bag.
You could tell they had the plan,
Yeah.
and they've been setting this up for years.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if it's just because the Russo brothers and the Russo brothers have done good Marvel films so far, but I went into this film
excited,
overhyped,
overhyped, okay.
overhyped, and I was like, it's gonna be a letdown because I'm so overhyped. I'm expecting so much.
Yeah.
I'm gonna walk out there
Like every other film, you get yourself overhyped, and it's either just about mediocre or it's really bad.
and the other recent Marvel films, like to cause controversy here, some of them haven't been that good. I've been disappointed, but I haven't walked out going, it was an amazing Marvel film.
Yeah.
So
like the first Avengers, you come out of that, you were just buzzing.
Yeah. Well, so most of Phase 2. And it's just that recently, also this.
In Phase 3, they've introduced a lot more of the Black Panther characters we want to see an origin story that haven't been in the cinematic universe before, but they've kind of fallen into that Marvel formula that everyone keeps talking about. Of it's playing it safe, 3-star out of 5, good origin film, rather than taking a few risks.
And with this film, although they pretty much guessed the plot. Well, you've guessed the plot. Thanos tries to get all the Infinity Stones. Everyone knows the plot. But the way they went about doing it, and the way the story paid out and like progressed through, there is. I mean, I don't think I want to go and see it at least a couple more times. I don't think there's any sort of lull bits in it. There's a bit sort of in the middle where the first few fights have happened, and then there's a bit in the middle where all the characters sort of interacting, getting to the right place. But I wouldn't say that's slow. But that's not so slow paced. That's all. That's really great.
The pacing can feel a little off when you're watching. I think watching it a second time, I want to see it a bit more because there's obviously like they go from massive CGI set piece to character moment to dramatic bit to set piece, and it like the one time I've heard used to describe the flaws that the film has is overstuffed.
Yeah.
And it can feel that way a bit, but there's. If you're a Marvel fan who's been with them for 10 years and you're invested in the characters, you're probably going to enjoy the hell out of this, regardless of what little nitpicks you can find.
Yeah, well, so at the moment I can't find. And I mean, there's a couple of little bits that I would have liked to see more of, but that's just my personal preference. I don't think it ruins the film in any way. I think it's a very good. It's an amazing film.
I mean, with all the characters they've got to fit in as well. If you're a fan of certain characters, they might not get as much screen time as you want them to.
Yeah.
But it's such a difficult balance to get.
It's such a difficult balance to get, and I think the way we'll talk about it more in the spoiler review, the way that the film wraps up, there's going to be certain characters that didn't get as much screen time in this one that will probably get more screen time in Avengers 4.
Yeah, exactly.
Untitled Avengers 4, which we'll find out what the title that was going to be pretty damn soon.
We'll talk about this in the spoilers more, but the way where they go from here, I mean, it's crazy. So. But yes, I mean, action sequences amazing.
Yeah,
we won't go into details now. But
CGI and special effects were
on great. I mean, they just upped everything as usual.
It did feel like some of the pairings in the fights as well with certain characters are done specifically so you can see things happen between those two characters to make it work.
Definitely. I mean, and the thing, one of the big points for me was, I mean, the storytelling was good, but the comedy I thought was very good. There's, I mean, you've got Guardians of the Galaxy. I mean, it sort of felt like when you went through the film, when the Guardians were on the screen, it felt like a Guardians of the Galaxy.
Yeah, it felt like James Gunn.
It really did. And when Captain America and the Avengers were on the screen, it felt like an Avengers movie.
Yeah.
But they didn't overdo each bit, and the comedy, I thought, there was no sort of visual comedy. It was very much comedy between characters.
Yeah, interacting with each
other. Which I thought was what is great about Marvel. I mean, I know with Thor Ragnarok, even though like everyone loves it, I personally thought they'd stuffed too much comedy into that. I mean, most of it worked.
I mean,
a lot of it worked, but you took Thor, you turned into more of a joke and then in this back into
the Thor we know and love.
Yeah, Infinity War. He was back to the hardcore awesome Thor.
We'll talk about that more in the spoilers section. But
exactly. Yeah, so that and the same with Guardians as well. I think Guardians 2 for me wasn't as good as the first one. I think again they tried to shove too much comedy down your throat, where it just needs to be natural comedy. Like the Infinity War has so much natural bouncing off characters. It's crazy. So. But yeah,
that's another thing I've seen leveled at it as a bit of a nitpick, less than a criticism, more of a nitpick, was that some characters didn't act the way you've grown to know them because of the course that you've got the Russo brothers directing this film.
Yes,
but you've had individual directors direct, like James Gunn doing the Guardian series and everything else. So I think they've gone as hard as they can to try and make it feel like those are the right characters. Like you say, the Guardians are on screen for a good period of time. And the bits they're in,
they feel like the Guardians.
They feel like a Guardians movie. It's the characters that are acting the way they would if you were watching Guardians of the Galaxy. So,
exactly. I'm saying, what do you guys think about Thanos? I mean, Marvel have had a massive problem with villains over the past 10 years. I can probably count in one hand good ones, and it wouldn't even fill up one hand. It wouldn't even fill up one hand.
The third actor for the movies in general as well. When they had a bit of a problem with that.
Yeah. Well, so a good thing about this one is like most of the villains they've had, bar sort of Zemo from Civil War, because that was just about taking the Avengers down. It's been about taking over the world and stuff. Where Thanos is like destroy half the universe. But the way they portrayed Thanos. I don't think that's a spoiler. But,
it's one of the things people keep levelling at Thanos as a villain. Who since 6 years ago when he turned up in the end of Avengers, is like, he's not got. Who is this guy sitting in a chair? He's not doing anything. He's a lazy ass villain. In this one, they've basically gone all out to explain not only the backstory and the motivations behind what he's trying to do and why he's trying to get the Infinity Stones. But they've also made him a properly sympathetic villain as well.
Yeah, you do. You sort of you don't feel sorry for him, but you do sort of see where he's coming from.
You see his side.
You see his side.
Which always makes a great villain.
Get on his side.
Yeah.
You see what he's trying to do and why. And there's also some good character motivations for him. I think it was Empire magazine described it as it's Thanos' movie and the Avengers are the supporting cast.
He owned every scene he was in.
And
I was captivated by everything he said, everything he did. It was just.
And considering that's all CGI, there's a lot of times movies have full CGI characters, and you can just say.
That's the Josh Brolin's facial tics coming across.
It was so.
The mocap they've done on his face alone is great.
Well, they've learnt a lot from Hulk over the years with Mark Ruffalo.
And it was just so. I mean, Thanos actually. I felt sorry for Thanos, but you could see where he was coming from, the way he was explaining it to people during the film.
Yeah, you got his motivation.
And it was just like, wow, you can actually understand why he thinks he's doing the right thing, even though it's obviously massively.
That always makes a great villain, though. If you understand why they're doing what they're doing. If they're just doing it because they're a bad guy, it kind of is weak. But that was it was so strong.
Exactly.
So shall we dive into?
We've
got 3 half.
So basically, guys, we've been. It's been about 10 hours, and we just really want to talk about spoilers. So
it's hard to talk about this film without spoiling it. So
get into specifics.
Before we dive into the spoilers, stop the video.
Go and see the movie.
Because honestly, even watching what we've just said is too much. You should really go into this,
blind as you can.
You're looking for spoilers, fine. We're assuming you've seen the movie.
Please, whatever you do, go and see this film more than once, and then come and watch this. And I'd love to hear your comments below if you agree with what we're about to say. Okay, guys. So this is spoiler talk. So you'll be warned. If you're watching this, you haven't seen the film, we're going to spoil the shit out of it. So please do not. And come back once you've seen it and then watch our show lots of times. It'll be great. So, right, let's try and do some sort of structure to this, otherwise we're going to be going on all night.
Let's start with the basic overall plot. Let's not if we try and rehash the whole plot, we're going to be all right. Go with the basic plot.
Okay. So opening. So it starts off
directly after Ragnarok.
Which I kind of guessed, but I think is amazing anyway. Yeah. But just seeing it, I'm kind of glad they already had killed everyone off. You don't have to watch that bit, but seeing like Heimdall.
Yeah, spoiler alert. Pretty much all the Asgardians who were rescued at the end of Ragnarok are dead.
So that was kind of negates Ragnarok really. But and then you've got sort of Thor completely screwed up.
Thor was being knocked to the ground by Thanos already. Yeah, Loki's sort of cowering in the corner.
Yeah. And then so he's asking for Tesseract, and he gives it. So
he's using Thor as a bargaining chip.
Which was awesome. And to be fair, with Loki, I mean, character who's been in the Marvel universe since Thor 1, big character, everyone loves Loki, everyone loves Tom Hiddleston, and then he actually dies.
Thanos straight up kills him.
Thanos straight up strangles the life out of him.
Well, Loki trades the Tesseract for Thor's life,
which is awesome.
In a scene where he's like, you finally see Loki's come around to realising that he's his family, and
exactly.
Because the first he's like, oh, kill Thor, I don't care about him. And as soon as he starts trying to kill him, he's like, no, all right, have the Tesseract.
And when he tries to kill him, putting the Power Stone against his head.
His Power Stone has the Power Stone, so Xandar is gone.
Which you don't see in the film. Which again, you don't have to see. I think it would have been cool to see, but it's a 20-minute scene you didn't need to see.
Yeah.
So he just explains, I did it.
He's just going to go free people like paper mache.
Exactly. So that was going to say the way Loki sort of he bows to
Thanos, and then you see him materialize a dagger in his hand and look slyly at Thor, and Thor's like, "Don't do it." And then he goes, he very nearly gets.
Yeah, he's like that close to his neck, which I thought for Loki, the guy who's been going good bad for so many films, he dies, which sucks, but he dies as a hero at the end of the day, which I think it was well deserved at the end of it. And but we sort of missed out the big bit that I just realised there. Before that happens, he says, he does the great line. He goes, "We have a Hulk." We have a Hulk.
Hulk comes out of nowhere and starts going toe to toe with Thanos. It's a great little punchy action scene.
Oh man, so well done. But then Thanos owns him.
Turns the fight around in seconds. Thanos being obviously an experienced hand-to-hand combatant, and Hulk being just a brawler, he kicks the living crap out of Hulk.
I know.
And
with ease,
and it's an amazingly well done scene. And then Heimdall, with his last breath, manages to summon enough dark energy to
get Banner back to Earth.
Rainbow Bridge Banner back to Earth.
Which is a clever way of getting Banner there to tell everyone,
warn everybody,
because otherwise you wouldn't know it's coming. So I thought that whole opening scene sort of opens up, sort of lays the ground rules of this is going to be a
quite
movie.
a dark movie. Thanos is here. He's not going to play around.
With Thanos with the 2 power stones, he gives Thor like basically the middle finger by stepping through a teleport back on the ship and blowing up the ship.
Yeah,
that's it. Thor's gone.
Yeah, which is awesome. So that's that as an opening scene was just amazing. Anyway, and then you go to New York, where you see Tony and stuff, which is awesome. I won't go through the whole bit of New York, but just the highlights of New York are...
Actually, you have...
Doctor Strange... We'll just say Doctor Strange and Tony meet, and Bruce is back. And you totally forget, because until they start saying it, that Bruce has been gone for 2 years.
2 years. Yeah. Oh, when he comes out, because obviously the Hulk crash lands through the Sanctum Sanctorum, which is why... That's where... And then they're like, what's happened to you? Who are you? And I was like, I'm the Hulk. That's what takes Doctor Strange to go and meet Tony, who's in New York with Pepper. And then I like that bit with Banner walks out to the portal, the steam portal behind him, and just hugs Tony because it's been 2 years since he's seen him.
Just like Thanos is coming, the guy who sent the aliens in New York.
Yeah, he was behind it.
And then literally, the Black Order arrive on Earth looking for the Time Stone and the Mind Stone. And that's basically where, without going through the rest of the plot of the entire film, that's the instigating incident for where this all happens.
Yes, which and I think, although all the other scenes during the rest of the film were also, I think the one in New York is so... I think Ross said it was so comic book like. You literally have, because there's loads of superheroes in New York. So you have Spider-Man on the bus, Peter Parker on the bus. He gets his spider sense, which he has, which is awesome. And then his guy
Stanley cameo.
Yeah, Stanley cameo. The guy in the chair distracts him, but he like swings out, and then you've got Iron Man, and Juan and Doctor Strange fighting. I thought it was quite funny, getting comedy moments in it. I love the way that Doctor Strange and Tony like
they
just
do not
arrogant at each other,
they're
which is
so
great.
off each other at the
which is so good. I think that was just, considering they're both Sherlock Holmes as well. It was quite funny. But then sort of
Banner's having performance issues.
Banner's brilliant. He's like trying, because I'm guessing, they never explain it, but we all sort of came to the conclusion that Hulk doesn't want to come out.
There's a couple of points in the film where he tries to transform into the Hulk, and the Hulk sort of comes out and goes, "No, I'm not going to change." No,
I think because he's scared.
He's scared of Thanos.
Thanos is literally beating the crap at the start
which is crazy. I mean, it's one of the things I don't know if I liked about the film, that you don't see the Hulk again for the rest of the movie.
Well, I kind of hope at the end, non-spoiler section, I think he'll get more screen time in 4.
Because the whole thing about the Hulk is I know from Ragnarok he's been the Hulk 2 years and he's now got more of a brain, he can think more. But I would hope that he would be like, the angrier he gets, the stronger he gets. He should be able to beat Thanos up. But even if Thanos is now, he should be able to beat the others ones up. So I understand why they didn't do it, because if they did do it, then those 2 other guys would have been beaten up really quickly. So, but I would have liked him to maybe have come back at the end with the Wakandan fight. When Bruce was inside the Hulkbuster, he like breaks out with them. But I mean, that's
probably
like,
just saving it for that.
That is not. That's not a negative. That's just like, I would have liked to see one more time. One more time, because I love the Hulk as a character. But anyway, that whole thing in New York, and the fact that sort of Iron Man's fighting the sort of big guy. I can't remember the guy's name. It's big guy with a hammer. Black Dwarf, and then Spider-Man swings in and goes, "Hey, Mister, what's going on?" He goes, "All right, it's a wizard. We're going to take him down." It's just like, right, okay, let's go. That whole figure that you see Spider-Man swinging around the streets, all that kind of stuff was so. It was just so comic book.
Yeah, it was.
It was just so I was like watching a comic book brought to life.
The whole movie was. It really was.
And the little sort of quips and stuff between the characters, like they finally beat him and everything at the end. and then sort of Iron Man's flies up to the spaceship, and then the one little line, again, comedy moments I love, is that Wong saves him and he goes, Wong's invited to the wedding, and he flies off. It's just like, it's like little one-liners like that just crack me up so much.
Yeah. But
so
to run down the rest of the plot really quickly, because before we'll be here for hours talking about this, because we can be. We literally nearly didn't get to sleep last night because we were talking about. So who's the telepathic one? The four.
The Ebony Maw.
Ebony Maw.
Yeah.
He basically manages to capture Doctor Strange and takes him on a spaceship when he's going back to Titan to go and give the Time Stone to Thanos.
Yeah. Tony follows him.
Tony and Spider-Man follow him.
Yeah.
And then out in the space, you've also got the Guardians come across the remnants of Thor's ship.
Yeah.
Some
great moments. So not going to say, but comedy moment. Also, comedy moments. Like, that's one of the bits I love it. Yeah. So when they meet Thor and Drax, I think it's in one of the trailers. Drax is like, "You're a dude. He's a man." He's just going on about
Gamora's
rages.
just touching his muscles.
Yeah. And then like even Peter starts like dropping his voice to sound like Thor, and he's like,
"So he's going to lose weight."
They bring another great character moment. Characters interact with each other. So you have Rocket and Thor getting on together.
Yes,
it's one of the interesting little quirks of those two characters.
Yeah. And you say a sort of teenage Groot just being
gives him his eye back, an eye back. So
obviously, you've got when they finally rescue Thor, who's still somehow alive.
Yeah.
Obviously, he tells the Guardians that Thanos is coming, so Gamora's like, well, crap, because I know Thanos is...
And you find out that Gamora knows something about the Soul Stone.
Gamora knows what the Soul Stone is.
And I was saying another little a bit in that scene as well that made me laugh was then she goes, how do you know so much about Thanos? He goes, she's his daughter. And Thor's like, he's adopted. And then he goes,
she
okay, I understand. It's like, I thought he was like going to kick off. And he goes, sorry, I understand. It's
family problems.
That sets off a little subplot where the Guardians split in half and the main team goes to nowhere to go and make sure the Reality Stone's still okay.
Thor wants a weapon.
And Thor realises he can't stop Thanos without a God Killer weapon, which needs to be built in the forges where his original hammer was made. So he takes Rocket and Groot and goes there to go and build. What's it called? Stormbreaker.
Which and you find out that that's where they made the gauntlet as well.
Which I thought was a really cool twist. Because the actor, I can't remember the actor's name. The guy, Peter something. The guy who plays the actor as the dwarf. That's a whole cool scene there. But
then following on from that, the remnant of the Guardians get to know where Thanos has already got the Reality Stone. And captures Gamora because she knows.
And he puts him in like a sort of trap, thinking that she's going to kill him and everything. That was great.
But then the coolest. So let's just we're going to keep going for ages. So one of the coolest things I think I actually hit Ross when it happened in the cinema. So when they go to get the Soul Stone,
which is Gamora and Thanos.
Gamora and Thanos go get Soul Stone, and you see this sort of
hooded figure,
like it's sort of called like a Dementor from Harry Potter a little bit.
Yeah.
And you could hear this voice, and I was like,
that sounds familiar.
And you see his face; it's the freaking red skull.
Finally answered the question from 8 years ago.
I was just like, fuck.
I
was like, that is amazing. He's been trapped there since.
He's trapped on that planet since he was beamed away by the cosmic cube.
It's been over 70 years.
And he's just because as a punishment, and you just see him there, and he looks. I mean, I don't know if it's Hugo Weaving.
It's not. I looked at the credits. It's Ross. Somebody. He's a guy that plays some Aaron in The Walking Dead.
All right. Okay. So I mean. But his voice sounded very familiar to Avengers Assemble cartoon, which is a great show. I think because it sort of follows on from the films quite a lot, and that was like such a cool moment. And then the whole bit of him, you have to sacrifice the thing you love to get the Soul Stone. And Gamora's actually like, well, you don't love anything, and he actually
loves Gamora.
Turns around with tears.
The bit with Thanos where you think he's just an evil Titan, and he turned around, and he's fucking crying. Well, he's got tears in his eyes because he knows he has to sacrifice the one thing he loves, which is his daughter Gamora. I was just like, Jesus, man, I actually feel sorry for you right now. Even though you're going to kill Gamora, which is fucking crazy.
So at that point in time, he has 4 of the 6 stones.
And do you think Gamora is dead?
Well, yeah.
Or do you reckon she's coming back?
So in order to get the Soul Stone, he has to sacrifice someone you love, a soul for a soul, is the point of that thing. So, dramatic scene, he throws Gamora off a cliff, and you see her fall.
You see her dead at the bottom.
And then you see her dead at the bottom, and she looks properly dead.
But I don't.
But she didn't have like a proper send off. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, she can't because
but the way this film does that with some of the characters, like you saw at the start of the film, you've got Valkyrie. Sorry guys, if you like Valkyrie, she's dead. She's just lying there.
Heimdall gets stabbed.
Heimdall gets stabbed and killed.
Dead.
They don't have a send off.
Heimdall has a little bit of a send off because like Thor and everything, and he's looking at him and he's like, and then he saves. I reckon the whole thing with the Vision and Scarlet Witch. There's quite a big moment between them, so you're like, right, he's probably definitely dead.
Yeah.
But for him to just go, oh no, I did love you.
I think, however they're going to do this in the next film when they get the stones back, Pete Quill's going to take the Soul Stone back and
maybe
and bring her back.
But maybe they put the Soul Stone back and get her life back.
Yeah. That's the only way I can see they do it.
It's going to be the same thing where it's going to be a soul for a soul. So Peter will sacrifice himself to save.
Well, no, but if you're bringing back the Soul Stone, that's a soul.
They want to put it somewhere safe.
Yeah.
They put it back where it was.
Yeah.
And then they get the soul back that was sacrificed for it. Maybe.
Because there's no way. There's going to be Guardians 3. There's no way. There's no way Gamora's not going to be in Guardians 3.
Yeah.
So Thanos has the 4 stones. Yeah. He teleports himself to Titan, where Tony and Doctor Strange, Spider-Man are, and the rest of the Guardians are showing up there after escaping from nowhere.
Yeah. Which again. So, when they first meet, it's freaking amazing, and then just talk about getting a bit in the trailer where it's like, I've got a plan, whatever. Then that whole plan to get for a fight scene is just so. Some of this action is just so. Yeah.
Doctor Strange working with Star-Lord and everything.
Even there's they fight Thanos and it's going pretty well.
They nearly do it.
They have a plan. It nearly works.
It nearly works.
Star-Lord kind of derails it a little bit, but that's only because he finds out
Gamora is dead.
And then they have another bit of a fight scene, and all of them get knocked out one by one, and then Doctor Strange has a one-on-one with Thanos, which is so good. But eventually he falls, and he's just about to be sort of knocked out when Tony comes out of nowhere. Yeah. And this is the big scene, and Tony
gets knocked out by a moon.
Yes, Thanos. Just to show how outclassed they are. Yeah. Thanos basically gets out. The first fight they have with Thanos and Titan, they've almost got him trapped. They've almost got the glove off. And Mantis is using her power to try and keep him calm. Yeah. Star-Lord knocks it all out. Thanos is so annoyed about this. He pulls a moon out of orbit and drops it on Tony. Yeah.
I mean, and in fact, he survives, and he comes back and lands. He goes, "You threw another moon at me. I'm gonna get really annoyed." I was like, "That's so Tony Stark."
But it's just Tony and Thanos, and he's got his new nanotech suit on, and he's going 1-to-1 with Thanos. And Thanos is just knocking Tony over the shop, and the more of Tony's armor keeps getting knocked off.
Yeah, that was the suit. Although I don't love the style of the suit, the way he just creates things, like the shield, and then like the things that are on the floor where it sort of digs into the ground.
Yeah,
so it's not gonna move.
And he makes the thing to fit on the gauntlet so that he can't close his hand.
Yeah, which I thought was quite clever. Again, I haven't actually read the comics. I've got them both recently. I've stopped myself from reading them until I've watched this film, because I didn't want to have any pre-spoilers of what could happen. But the fact in this film, to activate any of the stones, Thanos has to close his fist.
Almost like he's channeling power.
I thought was really clever, because he could have just had it open, but the fact they're holding, because Doctor Strange's cape,
like a technique
cape goes around it and stuff. So I thought that was a really clever way to depower him a little bit.
Yeah.
But then you've got him losing his suit, and then the last-ditch effort, he forms a spear with his hand. Yeah. Goes to stab Thanos, and Thanos just turns it around and plunges it through Tony.
I know.
And I was sitting in the cinema going, "We thought Cap or Tony might die in this. This is the moment.
This is the moment.
Is this the moment?" And I was sitting there going, "I'm not ready."
The whole audience gasped. Yeah. Dead quiet.
As much as I hated Tony after Civil War, I'm obviously Team Cap. But I was not ready for that moment. But thankfully. He doesn't die then. He's wounded as hell. He's got a blade in him. Yeah. And he managed to get out.
Because he sort of he sits there and he's down, and Thanos just sort of pats him on the head and he's like,
he's about to finish him off, and then Doctor Strange is like, no, I'll give you the time stone in exchange for his life. Save that one life. And then Thanos is like, okay. And when I get all the stones, you've impressed me, so I'll spare half of the Earth.
Yeah, exactly. So I mean, that was the gasp, and then.
At which point he then teleports back to Earth.
Yeah, so flipping back to
going back a few scenes
to the Wakanda fight. So
Cap's obviously Tony's been missing since the start of the movie on Earth because he went off to go and save Doctor Strange. So Brody's the only one left. He's like, what's going on? They share the council with Ross are trying to find out what's going on, and basically they call Cap in.
Exactly. Well, Bruce calls Cap. Well, no,
obviously it's the
they're trying to get hold of Vision, but he went off.
The Vision went off with Scarlet Witch. They're having a bit of they were developing a relationship. At which point the Black Order attacks them, and then Cap shows up to rescue them in another great fight scene.
So many good fight scenes in this film. So let's jump to the end with the Wakanda fight. So that's the big fight where all the sort of monsters. So Black Order. Everything.
Well, that's been going on while that Tony stuff been going on. Titan,
and then
they get to Wakanda.
They're all sort of fighting, and there's some great moments in that as well. So you've got like when they're all running down, and you have Black Panther and Cap just running ahead of them. Yeah, so cool because they're that much more powerful. Taking everyone.
The remaining old members of Black Order, they launched these weird creatures. I can't remember what they're called.
At
the
Space Dogs, I think.
The whole plan is they're trying to get the Mind Stone out of Vision, so when Thanos turns up, it doesn't kill him. Yeah. And so they've got Shuri.
They want to destroy it, don't they?
Black Panther, they want to destroy it because they're going to have as soon as it's out, they're going to have Scarlet Witch blast it.
Yeah,
because she's got a similar power set.
Yeah. She's born of it.
So they're trying to hold off this army as long as possible to buy enough time to get the Mind Stone out. And then obviously their fight's going badly for them. Hulk can't emerge, so they've got him in the Hulkbuster suit for most of it. He's got Bruce.
That was a great bit. That was really.
But then, whilst this has all been going on, obviously Thor has been off at the weapon forges.
Yeah, so he makes the hammer. Makes the hammer, and then he
rainbow bridge, because the hammer can summon a rainbow bridge,
which is freaking awesome.
Yes.
He rainbow bridges into the middle of the battle, and just like in Thor Ragnarok, unleashes hell.
Yeah,
and it's amazing.
Banner's like, oh, you guys are in trouble now.
Yeah. Not only that, but he is mad as hell.
Oh yeah. The hammer comes out, doesn't it? And then it comes around, and then you've got Groot, Rocket, him.
Yeah.
And he just jumps up, and everything goes black, and he's just all this lightning.
Yeah.
And he just destroys so much.
Every character gets one moment of awesome, and that's Thor's for this movie.
Yeah, definitely. And then there's a few little interactions between characters. So two of them in particular I thought were brilliant. So you've got Rocket and Bucky shooting, and as we sort of talked about before, it's like Rocket's gonna want that arm at some point. And literally he's shooting. He goes, "How much for the gun?" And he goes, "What about the arm?" And he goes, "No." And he walks up, and then Rocket's like, "I'm getting that arm." And then the whole bit with Thor and
because Cap's under a load of enemies as well, isn't he? He's telling it. Then Thor turns up and does a lightning strike, and Cap gets up and looks at him, and so they both smile at each other, and he goes, "Oh, you've had a haircut for Thor."
Yeah, because you copied my beard. You copied my beard. I was just like, it's so cool. It's just like little moments like that, which is so well done.
So they start to push that advance back. Yeah. But then Vision gets attacked because obviously Scarlet Witch sees that the phalanx is falling.
Yes.
And she comes out and she unleashes her true power.
That was one of the things like you wanted to see, and I wanted to see as well, is to see Scarlet Witch kick some serious ass, and the fact they sidelined her at the end, I was like, and then even the head guard of Wakanda, just like, why was she up there? She's like, it was fucking awesome.
But obviously that's what they were hoping for, because that draws her away from Vision, who then gets attacked by the Rangers of the Black Order. He escapes, but he's badly wounded, and he can't phase shift while he's trying to get him out.
And then Thanos comes with the other 5 stones. And then the rest of the Avengers are left trying to take him on. Yeah, and you see that moment in the trailer with Cap holding the glove, and you're like, "Oh God!" I was like, "Oh, don't kill him, please," because I
knocks them all down.
I thought one of them was going to die. Yeah. So you got Tony then gets spared. I was like, "Oh shit!"
Definitely Cap.
Cap then. Yeah. And I was just like, "Oh," but he just knocks him out.
Thanos is so unconcerned with the rest of the Avengers. He's just one-shotting them as he walks towards Vision, who's lying there. He turns to Wanda and says, "Oh, you've got to kill me because you've got to."
Which was such a good moment.
And she's basically holding Thanos back with one power beam while she's hitting Vision with another. She's crying. She's so upset about this.
Yeah, destroys him.
She blows him up. Vision is gone, completely gone. Thanos, completely unfazed, just walks up and gives a speech about how you've sacrificed something you love and it's been a tough day for all of us. Uses the Time Stone to rebuild Vision and then just pulls the Mind Stone out of his head.
Yeah, which was crazy.
And then Vision is dead.
That was
his whole suit turns black. The Mind Stone comes out with half his head attached to it, and it's brutal, man.
And then he gets all the stones.
He gets
Thor goes down to him.
Lightning strikes him.
Should have gone for the
hammer at him. Thanos, this is great. He throws all the power stones at him in a massive beam. The Stormbringer hammer through the beam, straight to Thanos' chest, and comes out.
But at that moment, I was like, "Shit, he's done it. He's fucking done it." And then he's breathing, and he's like, "Should have gone for the head."
And then with a single snap of his fingers, kills half the universe.
He did it.
He did it.
Well, you joked about it.
I've been joking for months, going, "How cool would it be at the end of the film if what the hell's our Moff doing?" Go away. We can't talk about spoilers. Would it be cool if he got the stones, he clicked his fingers, and then the film finished? Worse than that, he clicks his fingers, and then you see half the Avengers die and half the world die.
And it's done in a way where they sort of everyone that's dying or everyone that's been chosen
aware
to
of
die,
it as well.
Yeah, they're aware, but they turn to ashes.
Yeah.
So, kill count for the end of the movie, Avengers-wise, on Titan, you have all of the Guardians dead.
Yeah.
Peter Quill's gone. Yeah. Mantis is gone. Drax is gone.
Yeah.
Just turned to ash.
Yeah.
Doctor Strange tells
Spider-Man.
He gives Tony a bit of cryptic.
Oh yeah, we'll talk about that in a minute.
And then Doctor Strange dies. Disappears into ash, and then a really emotional moment when Tony turns to look at Peter Parker.
Yeah, I didn't think Peter was going to go.
No, Pete goes, "I feel strange," and Tony's like, "No!" And then you get a really emotional heart-to-heart between the two of them, where Tony finally sort of really accepts him as a surrogate son, doesn't he?
Yeah.
And then Peter just fades to ash.
God, man, winning up, just think about it.
I was just...
Leaving literally just
Nebula and Tony,
who are on Thanos.
So on Wakanda, you've got Black Panther, which I was shocked.
Yeah. He's busy rallying his troops, and he just fades into ash immediately. Gone. Yeah. Falcon goes. because him and Rhodey have been fighting together the entire time, and seeing those two work together was really well. And he, as Rhodey lands to get Sam, he just fades to ash.
So Wanda, which I was so shocked about. You've got Groot goes. So the only Guardian left is Rocket.
The only Guardian left is Rocket.
So you basically have the main Avengers.
Not only that, but Bucky, who's been beside Cap the entire fight. He turns to Cap
Bucky.
And goes, Cap. And Cap turns around and his face is just like...
Well, again, when we've been theorising about this for fucking ages now, one of the things we spoke about is we all thought Cap was going to die.
And
we thought that moment there was going to be a moment where Bucky picks up Cap... Like, we thought this shield was going to appear in the movie. Sadly didn't. But he was going to pick up the shield and just take on Thanos himself and become Captain America. Because they've hinted at it for so many movies. I think every single film Winter Soldier has been in, he's held this shield at some point. So it's going to happen. But I thought it was going to be this film. It didn't. So you basically have... Everyone that's left is the main Avengers. You've got Cap, Thor, Black Widow, Hulk, Iron Man,
War Machine,
War Machine. That's it, and Rocket.
Rocket.
So and then at the end,
Banner / Hulk is still there, but he's not come out.
And then Thanos literally teleports. So his gauntlet's sort of destroyed. It looks...
Because he's used the power, and that's kind of it. He's done what he achieved. And he teleports to what looks like Japan, but it might be it might be a bit of Titan that he's rebuilt using the reality stone to be.
And he just sits there and sort of smiles and he's like, and he's done it.
He's done what he's achieved.
And then it's finished.
And then the film just cuts to black.
And I was just like...
There's no Avengers music. It's a very somber piano Avengers theme. You get Avengers Infinity War, which then fades to dust. The credits roll, and then you get the usual, the Avengers will return. It's Thanos will return at the end of the movie.
And it's just like... What?
What? A bit of shock.
What?
I think we all sat there for a good 2 minutes.
I think that the whole audience just sat there and I was just like, what? Well, no.
That's what I mean when we say that not only was Thanos a great villain in this, but
he won.
He won. They set up Avengers 4 in a way I honestly don't know where they're going to go with that. We'll talk about that towards the end. But I think we've kind of covered characters in our recap of that.
So that's pretty much the whole plot, guys. So you don't have to go and see the film now. But
bullet points. Seriously, no, go see the film because it's a lot better than what we just described.
But all this amazing stuff. So we're thinking the ones that turned to ash are not dead. Because you've got,
you can't kill off Black Panther.
Black Panther and Spider-Man. I was completely
they're kind of being
shocked
set up as the future of the Marvel
universe. I thought this film was gonna get rid of Cap and Iron Man.
And bring the new Avengers.
Avengers of Spider-Man, Black Panther, and we'll talk about Captain Marvel in a minute, into the fold. But they've actually killed off all the new characters they brought in, and they've still got the main old cast are there. So I'm guessing the next film is going to be passing the torch, which will be cool. So
because obviously the two characters we don't see in the film at all, and everyone's been speculating about it, are Ant-Man and Hawkeye.
Which they sort of pass off quickly.
They mentioned in passing that they took a plea bargain in a civil war, and they're under house arrest, so that's why they're not part of the film. But I think they're going to show up in. Obviously, you make Hawkeye
should definitely because he's put
the original
put them back together but it's going to be I have no idea how you're going to there was a thing the only theory we have guys is when Doctor Strange when they're on Titan, Doctor Strange does this thing with the time stone where he looks into the future and there's 14 million different scenarios and only one that they win and I don't think that was the one that they tried because obviously they failed and then he gives him the stone. And then just before he disappears, he goes, "This is the only way." So I'm assuming the one way that they could win was to let Thanos win, and then somehow, no idea how, go back in time or reverse what has happened. But God knows how. I hope the writers have an idea because
they would have done.
I have no clue. Comment. Let us know your theories because we are stumped about. All the reviews I've listened to.
I feel like because the time stone was out of the Agamotto's necklace, that maybe he's done something to it. So when it went in the
resets or something, something's got to have happened.
Otherwise, we're gonna have to go and find Kang.
There's gonna have to be some sort of time travel,
or the Watch is gonna have to come and intervene or something.
Well, they should intervene at world level events. This was a universe level event, so you need to sort something out. Pretty rubbish. Stanley needs to get on that. But it's just wow. It exceeded my expectations, which is I didn't think it was going to do. It made Thanos awesome. Every character, most characters had a bit to shine. I thought I'd have liked to have seen more between Bucky and Cap because I'm a massive fan of that relationship. I would like to see more Spider-Man being more cool, being more sort of awesome. He was sort of underpowered a bit compared to like Iron Man, who got overpowered a little bit, I would like to see Hulk at the end. But those are the bits I don't like. I mean, they are so tiny. It's no point in mentioning.
I think we'll see. Obviously, this being Thanos' movie, brilliant. But obviously, Iron Man was a lot more at the front than Cap was. Cap was kind of left back quite a bit, and he was only in the start and the end, really.
Yeah.
So I think maybe he'll take the lead in 4.
I'm guessing because again,
the thing in that whole movie, Cap and Iron Man didn't interact.
Yeah.
So they're saving that for the 4th one.
They nearly did. Right, everyone saw Infinity Civil War, and he got the phone at the end of his. It was like, "Oh, call me if you need me." Literally in the first 10 minutes, Tony gets the phone out. There's like, "Cool." There's one person we can solve this. It's going to be Cap. Cool, make a call. He's like, "Oh, don't talk to Cap." We had a falling out because Banner's asking him where Captain America is. He goes, "Make the damn call." So they get the phone out and they're about to make the call, and then that's when the Black Order show up and he drops the phone and doesn't ever see it again. So they're almost made up.
Exactly. Well, I'm assuming they will make up in the next film. Again, the next film, things I'd love to see how they're going to do it. I want this shield back in Captain America's hands because although he was awesome in this film, I think just stupidly because he had these little Wakandan shields, he wasn't as good. I don't know. It just didn't seem like Captain America like he was in Civil War.
I feel like they completely saved that for the next one.
Yeah, I'm sure they will. I mean, still haven't had the Avengers Assemble shout.
Yeah,
that's got to happen.
Yeah, definitely.
But it definitely feels like there was no other way it was going to go down with the Avengers so fractured as they are.
Yes.
In the way they've been set up over the last couple of years.
Exactly. But it was.
I was kind of glad that they kept that because that was the one thing about Civil War. It's like, what's the point of having it if the next movie they just come back together?
Yeah.
So at least they're keeping that.
Yeah, they kept it going. Yeah, it wasn't just going to. I kind of thought like a world-ending event and bring it back together, but even Tony was that adamant that it was like, no,
it's not going to work.
I can do this without him, which I thought was just. I mean, again, this is just guys. You would have seen the film because you're watching the spoilers, so you know how good this film is, and I mean, I don't know how they're going to better this film.
I like Thanos is an amazing bad guy, but I really like the Black Order as well.
Yeah,
every scene they were in, they were so good.
They weren't really characterised as well as he was, but they were villainous enough that these guys present a threat, and they are proper bad guy villains that you want to fight.
And they all died in brutal ways. Yeah. They weren't just. I mean, some of them. I mean, like the big guy with the axe got by the Hulkbuster and got threw into the force field and disintegrated. I mean, that's just nasty. You had the sort of guy with telekinetic powers get sucked out of the space.
When he said, "Oh, have you ever seen that film Aliens?" I was thinking, "What? The Queen? What are they talking about?" Yeah. And then I was like, "Oh, Alien Resurrection! Oh god!"
No, he's in First Aliens as well. That she blows him out the airlock at the end.
Oh yes,
So it's all so well done.
So just for you guys following along at home. So
should we talk about the humour?
Let's talk about. I was going to list off the deaths really quickly. So, obviously, we talked about people that disintegrated at the end of the film, who may or may not come back as a result of the time travel. Actual physical deaths we saw on screen, people that died and we saw them die. So you have the Asgardian attack at the start, so most of the refugees there. That includes Valkyrie.
Yeah.
You see Heimdall get killed by Thanos.
Loki's dead.
Loki's definitely dead.
Yeah, 100% this time.
100%
He's not coming back this time.
Thanos even makes a comment about that. He says, "Oh, you've cheated death once before, not this time." And when he's killing him, then we've got Gamora.
I think she's coming back.
Yeah,
I think she's. I reckon the only way I can sort of the comic book way I could see it happening would be Quill giving the Soul Stone back, and then she comes back to life.
Yeah.
And then maybe in Guardians 3, I don't know, or maybe in Avengers 4. Well, he'd have to come back first because he's already dead.
And
but
the final one we saw was obviously Vision.
But I don't think Vision's coming back. Which is a shame because he's a great character. He's a big character in the comics, but
he's been in it since the original one, technically.
Yeah, he's been Jarvis since the end. Yeah. So I don't think he's coming back. But so all the ones that disintegrated are going to come back. I just don't know how they're going to do it.
No.
So comedy,
likes and dislikes. Obviously, you guys like the comedy.
I thought the comedy was.
That's the one issue I had with Guardians 2 and Thor Ragnarok. Because it was too much comedy. It overshadowed the plot. Like Thor Ragnarok's a very dark movie of what happens. But you completely forget about that because you're laughing at it half the time. But this, it was just spot on.
Well, most of the comedy comes from character interaction.
Exactly. It's not physical things like him throwing a ball against the window and smashing himself in the face.
Being drunk and falling off the ship.
It feels more organic because the characters are acting the way you expect them to. Like Drax is being Drax half the time. And that adds a lot to the comedy.
That bit where he's standing there and he's like, "How long have you been standing there?" "An hour." "I'm like invisible, so still." So he's like, "We can see you." He goes, "No, you can't." He's like,
Manchesters with higher Drax. Damn it.
Yeah, it's so well done.
But then you got pairings that you wouldn't normally expect. I mean, they obviously made that and Thor talking to the Guardians was all about comedy.
Yeah.
But then you had one of the things I liked about it was it wasn't all comedy because you had Tony and Doctor Strange.
Yes.
And they're both big personalities and egos.
They
and
just
clash
consistently.
And it was
great. And then by the end of it, they sort of respect each other.
And a lot of the jokes, they went back to all the previous movies. So if you've watched them all and fans, like Rockets was all about, his eye that he stole. I want that guy's arm, which
Yeah.
is what he was like in the first one.
Yeah. So one thing about Thor that I loved in this, because he was quite funny, but there was a scene when they were on the way to get the hammer with Rocket, and Rocket's like, "Oh, baby, the captain." They have a talk, and he's like, "My brother's dead, my father's dead, my mother's dead."
Yeah.
And he's just like, he literally nearly tears up as he's telling the story to Rocket, and I was just like, this guy has been through so much.
Rocket's always come across as a sort of sarcastic,
arrogant asshole.
But when he was doing that, I've got to be the captain bit, he actually had developed a little bit for me. I felt as a character.
Well, again, in Guardians 2, that was the sort of thing with Yondu. He was like, "You're like me, you need to," and he sort of, I think, again, they brought that in. I think that's really good. All the character developments for all the previous films, they brought into this film. It wasn't anyone going backwards. But yeah. There's just, we sort of spoke about some of the comedy moments already, but they were just so well done, and so some of them were so quick. I probably missed some of them.
Yeah,
like that Wong one where he saves them. He goes, "Wong's invited to the wedding." That was so quick. Yeah, like you wouldn't have.
It's like when they're talking about Peter's put on too much weight, and he's like, "Oh, I'll buy some dumbbells." And you missed it where Rocket said, "You do know you can't eat dumbbells."
Yeah, no, I didn't hear that. So
they're talking about how muscular Thor is compared to Peter, and Peter's getting a bit insecure. Yeah. And they're talking about, "No, I work out," and then Rocket walks past and goes, "No, you're one sandwich away from being fat."
Yeah. Later on, it goes, "Yeah, Thor. Oh, you know Thor? Yeah, the sort of half good looking guy." Yeah. It's like it's so things like that are so good, so good. I can't wait to watch it again. I already booked my ticket for Sunday, and then I'm gonna see it again. After that.
I mean, we could talk about the comedy all day. That's a like that we all
So I mean, dislikes. Have you guys actually got any dislikes? I've sort of brought up mine a little bit.
Only thinking about it post, and I would like to go see it again just to make sure. Like you say, and a lot of people say at the beginning, the pacing can feel a little iffy in some places. And
I think it had the bit I thought was, I wouldn't say it's slow, but you've got the Thor fight, the New York fight, and then there's sort of this bit in the middle where everyone has to position themselves to the right place.
There's one scene that I felt was a bit out of place and kind of killed the pace of the film a little bit. Was when, I think it's just after a fight, I can't remember where it comes into the movie, but you get a smash cut to Thanos' backstory where he finds Gamora as a child. Yeah, and that does come a little bit out of nowhere, and it doesn't quite fit with not the tone of the film. It's obviously part of his backstory, but it doesn't fit where they put it in the movie.
Yeah, the bit I thought slightly different though. I thought the bit where they were in the sort of his ship and next to the throne, and she's sitting there and they're talking. Yeah, I thought although it was good.
I think that's when that comes in, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's sort of around that area. It didn't.
I feel like it would have been better just before he decides to kill her.
That's the thing that they well, I don't know if it would work better there because that kind of feels like you're being told then. You've got to like this, and that's why this is happening.
Well, it could be that when she's telling it, he's thinking about. Yeah, possibly. That's what. Oh, yeah. But
they needed to set. They obviously need to set up the Gamora Thanos relationship to make that scene work and pay off. Yes. But I don't know if the pacing is a little bit jarred around that bit, but it works overall for me.
Yeah. Everything else,
dislikes. There are a few characters I'd like to have seen a little more of. Bucky and Cap interaction.
Yeah, like I said,
Bucky and Cap, especially after Spider-Man as well. The core of Civil War and the dissolution of the Avengers.
Well, that's it. They've had their movie.
Kind of, I suppose they have. But
but given that Tony and Cap haven't reconciled yet, and that the main throwout was that, and now Bucky's gone, so maybe that will help spur them together for.
I feel like Bucky wasn't in it because he's not a main Avenger. I get why he wasn't in it enough, but they sort of met, hugged. And then they didn't really talk again. They went into battle, and that was it. You didn't really have. I thought Cap and Bucky would at least be next to each other, sort of fighting in one scene. But they weren't. Cap obviously ran ahead with Black Panther, and Bucky was like over here somewhere with Rocket. You didn't really get them together fighting. Would have been awesome for like one moment of them fighting and get together again. But again, it doesn't ruin the film for me. It's just a little nitpick that I would.
So that's kind of where I'm coming from. Is that being the biased comic book fan that I am, the dislikes I have with this film are literally nitpicks. Yes, there's nothing I can pick out that I think makes this legitimately bad for me.
No. I can't think of anything. Anything I disliked.
Yeah, which is for you, Russ, is a good.
I know. You I normally am very picky.
Guys, this is a man who there's a lot of films that I love that he dislikes. Like you don't like Doctor Strange that much.
But I do now.
You do now because the thing you didn't like about it was about the time stone.
Yeah, I thought them putting that in at the end of the movie. I thought, they're just going to forget about it and they never use it again.
But they actually
they used it quite a few times in the movie, and he kept trying to use it, and every time now makes me love that movie.
When he's fighting the Black Order at the very start of the film in New York, he literally tries to open the time stone to use its power, and immediately the Black Orders trap him. And
the cable comes out and grabs his hands.
But I thought he was great. I have to say I loved the Doctor Strange movie anyway. I thought he was a highlight of this movie.
I think he was the best character out of the heroes.
Yeah, I didn't think he was going to be in it as much as he was.
I honestly thought going into the film he might be the one that obviously as the outsider to the Avengers and their breakup over the Civil War, he'd be the one that sort of brings them all together. And he kind of does in a way. He brings Bruce to Tony, and they go off and have their separate adventure. But then you've got the rest of the Earth Avengers who are still knocking around. And obviously, one of the things I quite liked was it's only briefly in the film is Rhodey and Sam. Falcon and War Machine.
The two military men.
Two flight Air Force military men working together in tandem,
taking down those machines.
And they have no hang-ups about Civil War either. They're good friends. Yeah. And the first time they see each other for a long time, they just start hugging each other, and it's back to being friends again.
Agreed. I thought that
it's a good little interplay.
Little relationships that they've built over the time. I mean, little bit like when Bruce appears in Avengers Tower and Black Widow looks at him, and it's just like they had that whole relationship thing in
Age of Ultron.
Ultron. They haven't seen each other since, and it's just like, and even like Falcon goes, this is awkward. It's like we sort of breaks the tension a little bit. But I was just like that was like a big
one of the things
point.
that you see a bit in the trailer of him and Nat looking at each other, which isn't actually in the movie, and I would have liked to have seen. That's another thing that I would like to have seen more of those two. They build that relationship up in Age of Ultron and over the movies before that, and then suddenly he's back and it's this is awkward, one comment, and they're off to the fight, which obviously is the pressing matter, but you don't really see the two of them talk or get the fact that he flew off in the Quinjet and where's he been for the last 2 years kind of thing.
It's sort of one of those things where maybe it would be a deleted scene or something, and maybe it would have cut perhaps much of the pace when it's
get a bit more in between the two of them.
Because there's going to be a sort of lull of we've lost, we need to do something about it, but they can then sort of regroup and stuff. Because again,
when Tony comes back, he's got a plan.
Because like Thor's come back after Age of Ultron. That's the first time they've seen Thor in 2 years as well. It's just like Jesus, like you don't even think about it, but when they mention it, it's like we've been watching all these films in between. But for them, it's for the continuity thing, it's 2 years. It's crazy. All that stuff that's happened to Thor in those 2 years and everyone else.
Oh, so good.
So coming to the
end. Let's go see it again,
there's one more thing to talk about, which is obviously the post-credit scene.
Yes, the post-credit scene.
Now, obviously we're already spoiler talk. It starts off with Nick Fury, who we haven't seen for the whole movie, and Mariah Hill driving through New York. They're trying to find out what's happened to Tony, and they're retasking some.
Yeah, so he drops back, doesn't it? Because it's just
before Thanos does his finger snap. Because they're talking about trying to retask some satellites using secret government clearance to try and find out where Tony's gone. At which point, loads of the helicopter starts falling out in front of them. A couple of cars start skidding. They get out and have a look, and it's obviously when he's just killed half the universe because people are just disappearing. At which point he looks at Mariah Hill and she's like, "What's happening?" And Mariah Hill's gone. And then Sam Jackson, Nick Fury starts going crap. He starts calling in, was it Omega level clearance? This is a major priority. Runs to the back of his car,
gets the device out, and he starts fading, and he's just about to say "son of a," and he disappears. Motherfucker! It's that line that he always says.
He fades. He's gone. Nick Fury's dead, but he's managed to press send on this page.
And it goes for ages as well. It goes sending, and it's like for a good 30 seconds.
It's a page of the device, but it's very sci-fi looking, and it zooms in on it, sending, and then it goes sent and cuts to a picture of
the star from
Captain Marvel's
then it goes into colour,
and then it goes into the red and blue colour scheme as well, and then it goes cut to black.
So I wonder if he messaged anyone else where it would do their colour scheme as well. To be like yellow and red for Iron Man.
Well, obviously
purple and black.
So he's obviously sent a distress call out to Captain Marvel.
So again, I mean, she's got her movie's coming out. After or before? No, it's before Avengers 4, right?
Before Avengers 4.
Yes, but it's set in the 80s.
Yes. Yeah. So we're going to get her backstory to introduce us to who she is and why she's.
And then she's going to be a main point.
And she's going to have met Nick Fury back then.
Yeah, and Coulson's in it too.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah. So we're going to get the 80s style backstory, which is how Nick Fury is going to know her and how that's going to happen. And then obviously she'll get a good, hopefully a better than average Marvel origin movie. Yeah. With that expectation.
And then she's going to be in Avengers 4.
And then she's going to be the big gun in Avengers 4 that's going to help them save the universe.
Yeah.
So
I'm looking forward to that. So I don't know.
But we don't know how.
No clue how they're going to do it.
Given that she's all kinds of cosmic level power, she could be.
I don't know. I'm guessing they must have written it by now, but by then they could have the rights from Fox. You could bring in Fantastic Four,
the
X-Men, anything could happen.
Talking about our theories for the one thing we didn't see in this that was teased at the end of Guardians 2 was Adam Warlock's cocoon.
Yes. So what we thought was the Soul Stone was in Adam Warlock. Yeah. Because you see it big yellow light above the head of the sort of sarcophagus thing he's in.
I don't know if James Gunn's intention for that was to have that be something to do with Guardians 3 or whether or not that's going to play a role in taking Thanos down.
Yeah.
obviously because the whole purpose of him being built was because I can't remember the name of the race that built him.
Yeah.
They hate the Guardians and they're going to send him after the Guardians.
Yeah,
and what's left of the Guardians is on Earth.
Yeah, so, which is Rocket. Who's the one they hate the most because he's the one that nicked it anyway. So.
Yeah. Or maybe because obviously Thanos has killed not just it's half the universe, so half their population has to have gone.
Yes.
So she's obviously going to release him with a message of go.
I mean, do you think it's half of every planet, or do you think some solar systems are completely gone and others are fine?
I don't know because the Thanos' point was it's completely impartial. I don't care who you are. Half the universe dies. Boom. So if you're going to be logically, it would be half every planet.
Yeah. I guess so.
Because
the way he explains it, which again, why you sort of think, oh well, he actually says a point. He does this whole thing on Titan where he sort of does a reality stone and takes it to Titan back to it was. And he goes, I told them that we needed to destroy half the population on my planet, or the planet was going to get destroyed. They didn't listen to me, and it happened.
Yeah.
So I know this is going to happen. So that's why I'm doing this.
Yeah.
And you kind of go, that kind of makes sense, but at the same time, you're destroying half the universe.
It's a big price to pay.
So I mean,
but like we say in our little brief line, hopefully brief recap of the plot. I don't know where they're going to go with this. I don't know how they're going to try and resolve it.
Which is exciting. There's going to be so many fan theories for the next year.
That's the thing as well.
I'm glad it's only a year.
It's only a year away. But on top of that, we've had a couple of years worth of build up to Infinity War. We've seen teaser trailers, we've seen character screenshots, Hot Toys have been coming out.
Love Hot Toys.
Love the Hot Toys. But then you obviously have the trailers in the film, and we've seen nothing for 4. I don't know whether they're going to keep that silent up until May.
Thor.
For 4, Avengers 4.
Oh, sorry, Avengers 4. Sorry, yeah.
Well, Kevin Feige said that you won't find out the name of it till next year.
I thought we were going to announce it at San Diego Comic Con.
No, I don't know.
Okay, well, it's going to be exciting where it happens. It must have a teaser or something in number 4. Yeah, they must be filming it now, surely.
Well, I think they did it back to back. So.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
All right. Well, I think I'm just going to put. If I was a betting man, I'd put a name. I'm going to call it Avengers Endgame.
Endgame.
Must be a story arc though. Or maybe Aftermath. I don't know. We're fucked. It's like
rewind.
Yeah.
Doug, we got to do something about your kids.
Yeah.
DeLorean turns up.
Avengers, DC, call us.
Yeah. This is how it's done. I mean, I love DC, but
no shade on DC. They're doing what they can with what they've got at the moment, and it needs a bit of work, but it's going to get better, hopefully.
Yeah.
But Marvel's built this for 10 years.
And it's been worth it.
It's the 10-year foundation has gotten them to a point where they can pull this kind of movie out.
I feel like Avengers 4 is the perfect opportunity to bring in Fantastic Four and X-Men. Now they've got the license. Bring them in.
I don't know. To be honest, it's like I say. My one of the nitpicks I had was it can feel a little overcrowded in the movie. But they're trying to juggle 18 characters at once. What they could do.
Yeah, but they killed half of them off.
Yeah, true. Yeah.
We need another 18.
7 left.
I'd rather see a solid conclusion to this phase, and then with phase 4, you can start introducing those characters.
Well, that's it. Maybe when whatever they do to resurrect it, they've changed it slightly, and that's how the Fantastic Four and the X-Men
makes sense.
in
like
it for a post-credit scene.
Different reality.
Yeah,
makes sense. Yeah, that'd be cool.
They've changed the timeline a little bit. That would be a really good way to bring them in. Actually, you just have the post-credit scene of like they go back into New York.
Baxter Building.
You got the Baxter Building, and then it fades up, and then you can see the mansion at the end of the.
Yeah, that'd be awesome.
Yeah, that'd be quality.
I think that's just about wraps up our thoughts. Really.
Yeah,
we can talk about this for all night.
But we want to hear your comments.
Yeah, please.
We want to hear your comments. We want to hear your theories, and
we do exactly, guys. So please, I hope you've watched all this video and you agree, disagree with what we said. Comment below. Let us know what you think. Subscribe to us. We do reaction videos on quite a lot of the CW shows, and we're doing Krypton as well at the moment. Please subscribe, like that as well. We're on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook. Please come along, support us. Comment. We'd love to hear your thoughts. We always try and reply back to anyone who comments on us. And see you guys for the next one. Avengers Assemble!